Yo, I tagged him. He's 1 HP. He's 1 HP. Oh, he's 1 HP? Yeah, he's 1 HP. Go get him. Rush him. Yo, I'm at 50 HP. Let me just heal up and... Nah, man. He's 1 HP. You got him. Go, go. Okay. Welcome to the world of FPS games. FPS, or first-person shooter games, are a subgenre of games which are centered on gun and weapon-based combat in a first-person perspective, with the player experiencing the game through the eyes of the protagonist. Doom, released in 1993, is generally considered to be the one that started it all, the first FPS game. But that's false, and no, it's not Wolfenstein 3D, which was released in 1992. It's Duck Hunt, released in 1984. Now I know what y'all will say. Al-Kanani, the definition of FPS game you lifted off Wikipedia, says the character needs to be able to move in 3D space for it to be an FPS game. Good point, here's my counter-argument. We've made significant leaps in game development since 1984, and continuously improved on game mechanics and graphics. Every new game seemed to one-up its predecessor, and every year the games got better and better. The story is more immersive, the game modes more engaging, and the multiplayer, I mean, it was alright, but we still had a complete game, and all these other stuff were just the bonuses as far as I was concerned. The dedication of the devs and the effort put into these games was palpable. Playing these games and getting to the end was rewarding and filled me with hope that whatever was coming out next would be better than this. It seemed like the potential for these games was limitless. But that limit was found pretty quickly. Okay, so I'm gonna divide FPS games into two categories, campaign FPS and multiplayer FPS. Campaign FPS does not mean that it definitely does not have multiplayer mode, but multiplayer FPS means it does not have a campaign mode. Games like Halo, Black Ops, Modern Warfare, Fear would come under campaign FPS, and games like Counter-Strike 1.6 and Team Fortress 2 would come under multiplayer FPS. The majority of games had a campaign, and the multiplayer was just a little something extra, and the campaign was considered to be the actual game. Soon after, the game studios thought, wow, these crackheads finished the campaign in a day and spent hundreds of hours on multiplayer. What if we skimp out on the campaign and focus on multiplayer instead? That led to shorter campaigns and a little better multiplayer mode, but overall lesser overhead costs due to the shorter campaign, but the same price tag, so more profits. Well, that worked wonderfully. I wonder how much we can push this. And push it they did. So the studios made even shorter campaigns, but sold the game for the same price, and then sold us the rest of the campaign as DLCs and started selling virtual items on the multiplayer mode like skins for your characters or guns. This turned out to be so profitable that studios could give away the game for free and make more money just from in-game purchases than they could by selling a full game at base price. Now we've gotten to the point where studios are comfortable releasing unfinished games plagued with bugs, but a perfectly functioning microtransaction system, so you can spend money on in-game items for a game that is literally unplayable. And here we are, a decade later, where multiplayer is the norm. Not that multiplayer is bad, it can be incredibly fun, but I just miss good campaigns. Okay, so how does multiplayer work? You and your teammates, if you have any, work towards a common objective against another team of players who are also fighting for the same objective. The objective may be anything from surviving longer than the other team to pushing a robot further than the other team. At the end of the game, the more dominant team wins. The more you win, the better rank you get. And to avoid getting railed by a team of higher skill, the game matches you with players who are around the same skill level as you. This matchmaking works around 90 to 0% of the time. Multiplayer can also be divided into categories, and there's a bunch like hero shooters, looter shooters, class-based shooters, etc. But for convenience sake, I'm going to divide it into two categories, Battle Royale and non-Battle Royale. Battle Royale is a type of multiplayer where anywhere from 60 to 100 players are all dropped into a map. The map gets smaller and smaller over time, inevitably pushing the remaining players into each other, and the last remaining player or team wins. Non-Battle Royale multiplayers are essentially 5v5 type games where a team competes for an objective against another. If you've never played a multiplayer match, here's how it generally goes. You load up a game after a long day of work, and you might match with one of the several gamer archetypes. The toxic gamer blames everyone but himself for a loss, robs every kill in the enemy's face, high chances of being racist or misogynistic or both, cusses all the time. The tryhard puts in 110% every game, is the living embodiment of this guy. The AFK guy immediately disappears after the game starts. The camper finds a nook and abuses it, does not move the whole game. The trick shotter greatly overestimates his abilities, pulls ridiculous plays and ends up dying immediately. The streamer / content creator is either really good, but mostly throws the game to farm clips, may coincide with the trick shotter. The chameleon switches characters every time he dies. The "it's just a game" guy says it's just a game when he loses, tells people to touch grass when they're better than him, will be toxic if he wins. The mic reaper has the worst mic ever conceived, yells constantly causing permanent hearing damage. The child prodigy is a child, is infinitely better than you, is probably Asian. The noob is either new at the game or just consistently bad. The cheater clearly uses aimbot, says get good and skill diff to everyone that accuses him of cheating. The good guy is nice to everyone and encourages his teammates, never fails to say GGWP, says some wholesome shit and makes you feel bad for being toxic. If you're lucky, you get a couple of good guys on your team, but who are we kidding, you play competitive FPS, you've never gotten lucky. And if the matchmaking has done its job, you should be matched with a team of top 500s to your bronze ranked team. But you're not a quitter, so you power through the abuse and play your best. Meanwhile, one of your teammates has left, so now you're playing 4v5, the other has gotten a kill off a camping spot, so he decides to sit there the whole game, despite being made by the enemy team. The fourth one decides to surprise the enemy team and jumps into them and does a 360 no hope, immediately killing himself and pretends to be shocked that his 1000 IQ play didn't work. And the fifth one calls you a noob for not clutching a 1v5. You lose the game and load up the next one, waiting for 15 minutes for the matchmaking to throw you in a game which will be over in 5. As the match loads, you catch a reflection of yourself in the black of the monitor. Dead eyes and sunken cheeks. It's 2 AM. You need to be up at 6. Just one more game. I'm having fun. You look into your eyes and lie to yourself. You lie because at one point in your life, this was fun. You had friends you'd play with, and even if you lost together, and it was fun. Maybe it was the game, but mostly not. It's probably that period in time you miss. That period of time when life seemed a bit more full, a little less cruel. When you could still hope without the fear of hopes being shattered. When you could still dream without those dreams becoming compromises. That's what you yearn for, that time long gone. So you claw and grasp and fight for every minute, every second that could give you some semblance of joy. Something to make you believe that the time could come around again. What you're going through is not unique to you or me, it's what we all go through. So please be kinder on VC. Which brings me to voice chat. Voice chat can be a boon or a curse, but mostly a curse. However, nowadays it's a bit better compared to the days of Modern Warfare multiplayer where people would yell obscenities and scream slurs so loud that their mics would clip automatically censoring them. When used effectively, it can help plan strategies and execute tactics and essentially change the tide of the game. But that happens only 10% of the time. The remaining 90% is for letting you know that everyone slept with your mom. Alright, so let me end this video with a ranking of some of the FPS games I've played. Please remember that these are my opinions, so take them as fact. The tiers I will be using is Charlie's for top tier.
I mean, it's alright.
For mid tier.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
For bottom tier. Halo 1, 2, 3, top tier. Black Ops 1 and 2, top tier. Modern Warfare 1 and 2, top tier. Gears of War, mid. Counter-Strike 1.6, top tier. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, not as good as 1.6, but still top tier. Fear, incredible, top tier. Bulletstorm, incredibly fun, top tier. Half-Life 2, top tier. PUBG, it's pretty good, top tier. Warzone, mid. Team Fortress 2, top tier. Black Ops 3 and 4, dog shit. Battlefield 2042, dog shit. Apex Legends, mid. Free Fire, I don't know what that is, I've never played it, but I'm pretty sure it's dog shit. Overwatch, top tier. Fortnite, dog shit. Infinite Warfare, dog shit. And finally, Valorant. Oh my god, what the f is this game? You just keep shooting into f***ing smoke? Dog shit. There's only one thing worse than Valorant, and no, it's not a hero shooter or a looter shooter. It's America's favorite FPS, the school shooter. Thank you guys for watching the video. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing to watch more.